Happy Wednesday, young people. How are you? Miss Keisha here. I pray that you all are having a great week already and are excited for the end of the school year. Are you ready? Y'all got this? Happy graduation to those class of 2018 graduates. You did it. It's your time. It's a new season ahead of you. Congratulations. And for those who have some years to go or you're starting a new chapter, excuse me, congratulations to you also. Let's take our break. Find your quiet space. Even if you can't enter physically a space, you can find a space within yourself. So let's sit up straight, feet on the floor. Breathe in through your nose and then out your mouth. Let's do it 3 times. Now remember, over the summer, while you're out of school, and we'll be off the air, we come back possibly when school starts. You all remember to take your breaks, to inhale, exhale through all types of situation. Anything that comes your way that is disturbing, even if you get overexcited, calm yourself down, try to sit still and breathe. Okay? There's several reasons why I do this. My age group, we're not too old. We're in our early 40s. And many of my classmates from grammar school and high school, they died in their 30s. In their sleep, no previous health issues. But I do know that my peers were working their butts off, working towards the American dream, working towards having so that they didn't have to struggle. And we want that reality. Everybody wants that, but we need to take time to breathe. We need to take time to sit and be still. So that's why I do what you may consider these crazy breathing exercises with you. It's just for a second, but those seconds could possibly be adding minutes to your life, okay? So don't forget to try these things or incorporate these things in your life as you go through the summer, for the good things and the bad things that may come your way, okay? But when you feel your body being overheated and overexcited, bring yourself down. My son, he gets bloody noses when he is overheated, so he has to put cool water on the forearm, both arms. He needs to let cool water run on him, or he'll get a cloth and put it on his arms. He'll put that cloth also on the back of his neck to calm himself down. If your nose is bleeding, you now put your head forward. Do not put your head back. You put your head forward and you let the blood come out, okay? So take care of yourselves. Drink plenty of water. Get the Gatorade, fresh fruit, and vegetables, all right? So that's your health tip from Miss Keisha. No, did not go to school for medicine, but I have 2 kids that I have to take care of, and these are the things that the doctor is giving me. Okay, so I'll pass it on to you. It's for free. You got that, all right? Okay, so your resumes, your interviews, your life. There are some comments that have been shared with me over the course of time while we've been doing this show, and I want to share those with you today. Some time ago, we had a guest on the show, Mr. Shibata, and he was speaking about making the right decisions as you go through life. And after his show, a classmate of mine, call him Irv, he sent me some messages, and and he wanted me to share these things with you, okay? First of all, he's managed to become a productive member of society even after he was bullied in high school. There was times in his life where he couldn't even play outside of his own house due to the fact of, and this is here in Chicago, due to the fact of gang members trying to recruit him. He went to his mother and told her, and his mother never came outside to stand up for him and to tell the boys, the girls, whoever, to leave him alone. Eventually, Irv had to join one of the Chicago gangs in order for him to get from a south side of town to go to another side of town for school, for high school. He admitted to me that he used to have to carry a gun to school. And one day, our school did a sweep, and he was caught with a weapon. The school took the weapon, and when it was time for him to go home, he's like, "You're going to have to give it back. I'm not going to make it home safe." Irv has made it out of that life. As he said, he's a productive citizen, raising a child, a beautiful daughter, and possibly getting married soon. But there's some problems with his reality. Number one, where are the adults who are stepping in on the behalf of the young people who don't want to be in a particular life? Where are the adults at? Also, we now have safe passage workers on the streets here in Chicago that are paid to keep the streets safe so the young people can go to and from school. But Irv's reality was that he was jumped on CTA buses trying to get from one side of town to the other. So I guess my message today, or this period, is to the adults. What is it that we need to do better to help the young people who was like Irv, who didn't want to be a part of this lifestyle, who now has a record which will never be completely clean? What is it that we can do as adults who, when young people come to us, okay? I put that out there. I don't have all the answers, but I do know that I would have been outside talking to some people if he came to me saying, "Hey, these people are bothering me, I need help." Yes, I know that it would have been life-threatening and it's dangerous for me, but to do nothing, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night, okay? Another thing that Irv shared was that he was really appreciative of the things, and he's known me for several years now, of the things and the words that I share with young people. He said because he didn't have too many positive adults speaking positive things into his life as he was growing up. Again, adults. I know that this generation of adolescents and teens and young adults, I know that they're a handful. I know that they are in much, much pain. So when you go to speak to them, they snap. But I also know that the adults who speak to these young people boldly and in love, they get great results. And the way, what I'm speaking of is, as you're entering the grocery store, and there's a young person walking in front of you, whether they work at the store or they're just walking in, and their hands are nowhere to be found on their underwear, instead of snapping at them about, "You need to pull up your pants," which they need to do. Yes, we got that. But to say, hey, come on now, your underwear really in my face? Let's find a different approach, because the truth of the matter is there was some things that was done in your generation that your parents and their friends didn't like, and I'm noticing that a lot of adults, they forget to acknowledge that. So this is the style that this generation is doing with the sagging pants. It's irritating. I've seen some dirty underwear. However, let's find a way in love to comment, and the adults that do that, they get better results if they bother to care. Okay. Mr. Engineer, do we have a caller? Oh, Mr. Engineer's out there pressing buttons. Everybody say hi to Bryson, who's on the computer and the phones with us today. Okay, so positive words being poured into young people. This is not the first person that has told me that they did not get this growing up. A few years ago, I worked at the Juvenile Detention Center here in Chicago, and I worked with two male groups. And when I told them that I personally start with 7th graders on up, one of the young men, under the age of 18, of course, he begged that I bring the age down. He said that if he had met me earlier in his life, I wouldn't have had to have met him in what my kids call it, the kids' jail. So I can't be everywhere. We're out here, adults. You've made your mistakes in life. You've made the decisions, but you're still here. You're alive. Would you please tap into what you've done successfully or poorly and share it with the young people? If it's a mistake, hey, I've been there. Let me tell you what I've been through. And just let that be the conversation. If you have some skills or you have an opportunity to share that also. Speak into their life. You can start with a compliment. Yeah, their pants may be sagging, but the twists, the locks in their head may be fresh. The braids may be nice on someone. You can compliment them. Some young people ain't never got a compliment and never heard I love you. And we don't take that seriously as adults. You just blow it off and like, but they have parents. They have people that birth them. Not all of these young people have parents that are nurturing them. We need the village to exist. And I'm speaking of Chicago right now. We need the village to stand up today. It is June. What is today's date? June the 13th, 2018. It is ridiculous. Adults, I need you all to step up. Okay, now we're back to the young people. This is for you, young people. One of my good friends, he wanted me to share with you all the importance of your language. So if you watch our previous shows, especially last week and the week prior, you will see some videos of mock interviews. And in those mock interviews, there was some dialogue that he wanted me to speak on. But we have a caller. Let's get this caller in the line. Hi, caller.
Hi. Good afternoon. You know, in a perfect world, what you're saying would be great, but it's not a perfect world. The kids are spoiled. And I'll tell you why. When I was I'm a 70-year-old man. When I was growing up, you earned everything that you got, that you received from your parents. Now, 8-year-old kids getting phones, getting Xboxes. And what do they watch? Terrorist things, you know. So when was the last time you had to say, I love you, before they said they loved you?
Mm-hmm.
Never. You tell them you love them, but they never say they love you. And that's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to earn everything. If you want that phone, you get good grades in school. You
Mm-hmm.
want that Xbox, you get that good grades in school. Or you want them good gym shoes, you get good grades in school. But now, they go out there and buy $150 shoes and think nothing of it. Think nothing of it. Necessities only. That's all you need. Heat, gas, something over your head. You know, that, but that's
I
not
hear
fun.
you. I hear you,
Food,
caller.
clothes. But none of that's being done. That's why it's not a perfect world anymore. But
Yeah.
years and years and years ago when I was growing up, you earned everything and you respected everybody. Nowadays, nobody respects nobody. These young boys are falling over their pants. You know, so come on. It's not a perfect world, but we can start somewhere. Thank you.
Yes, I hear you. And a lot of things have changed in this not so perfect world. Whereas, I really laugh about the cell phone because it it's a luxury, but then it's also a necessity. So Bryson here, who will be 13 in a few days, technically he's had a phone since kindergarten because when he was in kindergarten, his bus ride was a whole hour, and it used the expressway to get home. So it wasn't a great phone that he had. It was a phone where he can open it. It was a flip phone back in that day, where he can open it and call and let me know that he was safe, or I can call and figure out where he was in his route from school because he had an hour commute. So things are different where it's like, so now, yeah, the punishment is, oh, Brian, you gonna get this cheap phone versus this phone that can hook up to the internet and you playing games, and then you're playing games and now you have no juice and I can't call you. So now that's the fight that we go through. It's like, oh, you gonna have a phone because I need to get in touch with you, but you're not gonna be able to do anything else. So things, kind of changed and shifted. And then, you know it's rough because your comment that the young people saying I love you, most of the time they were never taught. My aunt, she was my pre-K teacher, and so that's the early childhood training that she had many years ago, and she's also helped me with the resume and the interview work that we've done on this show. She was human resources also, and she just, when I come home to complain about different situations and visit her about with the issues that the young people bring to me, she just looks at me and she says, everybody wasn't raised like you. Your grandmother embraced you. Your grandmother told you she loved you. Your grandmother gave to you, as you said, you had rewards. You saw, I saw that balance of, well, if I don't do good, then I don't. So my aunt is reminding me that everybody didn't have the experiences that I had. So I can't look to the next person, especially this generation of young people, and expect for them to do or to act the way that I act at their age, because they didn't have the same training or grooming or adults in their lives to nurture them or to teach them what I was taught. So, I mean, it's still a struggle for me. I'm a youth development practitioner. I've been working with young people for over 25 years. It's still a struggle, but I'm blessed now. The young people that you've heard call in, they are now in their 30s. These are my babies who have grown, and they are now coming in educating me, and or they're taking the lead. So somewhere in there, if we're not getting it due to the intergenerational gap, then we need to call on a generation that understands this group. Not giving them a pass. No, you don't get a pass. We just need to understand so that we can see how we can help. Okay, caller, thank you so much for your comments. All right, I got to get to these notes. All right, so as I mentioned, a friend of mine wanted the young people to know from those videos, especially the young lady on her interview with no shoes and didn't want to shake the hands. She spoke a lot of broken English. Okay, young people, the way that you text, the way that you speak to your friends is not the dialogue that you should have on your interview. Some years ago, Tyler Perry created movies and plays, and I'll never forget, Medea was in the kitchen one time, cursing out a teenager. I guess it was a young lady that she took home because she was on punishment. Medea was yelling at the young girl, but the phone rang. Medea turned around. Hello? You're dealing with your friends because they're ticking you off, but when you answer that phone, it's about business, because now you have people calling you for a job. You can't take that anger or the slang that you give to your friends and take care and do it on the phone as well. Because now, since you've submitted your resume, you've gone on interviews, you don't know when they're going to call you. But the same is when you present yourself in an office. I hear young people say, oh, well, that's not how we speak. You selling out. That's not my real talk. It's professional talk. And if you want a job, you need to learn how to speak professionally. Okay? And you know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't have to go any further. Start practicing in the mirror. Start practicing with your friends so that you can speak professionally and get the job now and in the future that you need to take care of yourself and your future family. Got it? Y'all know what I'm talking about, so stop playing with me. All right. My friend also wanted me, he got on me about the tooting your own horn. So if you go back to the previous shows and you see a young man interviewing and he was so confident in his skills, he did not create his portfolio or didn't have his portfolio that I suggested for you to have that showed he had credentials for this job, which was like construction or something. So if you can drive a truck or a particular passage vehicle, you should have your CDL. If you could do forklift, there's certificates that you have fulfilled so that you can do these things, right? You're going to create a portfolio going to your interview with it. Well, in the video, this young man did not have his certificates. He was like, I got this. You just need to hire me. So I was taught you don't toot your own horn, especially if you don't have any evidence. However, there's a side piece to that. And this is something that what my associate wants me to stress to you. You toot your own horn in humility. So let's use that video for example. He boldly stated, oh yeah, I'm qualified. You're not going to find anybody better than me. First of all, okay, you're qualified. So what he could have done was, first of all, came prepared, where he had his paperwork and he had it prepared and ready to present. Then he could humbly say, well, I've worked in this industry for several years now. Let me give you examples. And you list the companies that you work for. You list the situations that you have been in to show that you have the skills and to show that you are highly qualified for the position and or the leadership role. Okay? So you humbly describe what you have done so that people can hear. So my associate wants you to know that way of tooting your horn, it gives them something to think about. They will remember you. They'll remember you being bold and being arrogant also, but that's not the type of remembering that we want. We want them to remember you so that they can pull your resume and call you. And when you answer that phone, you got a professional voice going on, and then you can go back in for your second interview. Okay? So remember all the things that we discussed. Remember to take your time. Remember to breathe. Remember to go where you need to go to print your resume. Go to the Office Depot and the Walgreens. They may have the resume paper. You go to Kinko's, you put it in the drawer, and you're able to print your stuff. Okay? Be prepared. Get you a folder. Get your pen. Get your cell phone. Cut it off. Get your ID. Do not travel without your ID, young people. Okay? So, I will see you all again next week. If you have any questions, you know how to contact us, youth@thecrossroads.org. Miss Keisha at youth@thecrossroads.org is our email. Our website is the .org. Our phone number, 312-479-5900. Contact us with any questions. Keep in touch over the summer, and you all take care. Be safe, young people and adults. You got to step your game up. We got to protect these young people. See you all soon. Bye-bye.